Thanks to Squarespace, the sponsor of today's video.
You know that thing where you get plants on Instagram and they look amazing, but then at home, they're kind of a hot mess? Listen, that's happened a lot to me over the years, and I guess I just learned the hard way by collecting hundreds of plants that some are just better to have than others. I found better options, easier options, sometimes even prettier options. Some of them might surprise you, some of them might annoy you, some of them might make total sense. Let's start with syngonium. So syngonium are amazing. Listen, it's one of those aroids where you can get nearly any colour that you want. There's very few aroids that I would say do that. I don't want people to think I don't like syngonium. I do. My issue is with the way they grow, and it doesn't really work for me. So syngonium, like many plants, look fantastic before they start to actually climb. You can get some amazing looking syngonium out there on poles. However, the issue is I think you need a lot of time. You need to propagate it a lot. There's probably a lot of rotation. You know, like, I don't have that kind of time. I really don't. I need something that's a lot less effort. I've seen what happens when you try and grow syngonium downwards, so you let them trail. You can actually do that, by the way. I don't think they look very good doing that, though. It's clear that they're not supposed to do that. It's just not for me. But for now, I've just been buying hanging plants rather than plants that climb quickly upwards. I have many more hanging plants than this, do not worry, I just can't get them off the wall. This here is it's a little, what would you call it? A little pot, I guess, of philodendron micans cuttings from my big original plant. I had to get rid of the big plant because at the time I didn't have space. So I kept this guy. So he just grows. I mean, he looks terrible, don't get me wrong. This should probably be cut. But he just grows like this, and I've got him, and I stick him on a shelf. And if he gets too long, snip, snip. Not a problem anymore. On the polar opposite end of the scale, there is this guy. This is Epipremnum pennatum Cebu Blue, because hopefully the camera will pick it up. He is rather blue. I love him. He's a very quick grower. Again, any problems? Snip, snip. I can either propagate it, put it back in, or I can just bin it. A lot of the time I do bin it because I've got too much of this stuff. He's really easy as well. Doesn't really give me any problems. Tiny bit of yellowing there. It's no big deal. I can just cut some and stick some back in. So hanging plants for me give me more flexibility than what basically syngonium do. I'm comparing them directly to syngonium as a climbing plant because I believe they are the quickest, and I believe they closely resemble hanging plants such as these in terms of how quickly they grow. Let's talk about calathea. Listen guys, I really love calathea still. I'm not just saying it for the purpose of this video, I still love calathea, and I'm probably going to think about putting some at the bottom of this wall. I have mentioned in previous videos. However, for the longest time, I stopped collecting calathea, which is a big shame. I grew them so well, they got so big, and I didn't really have anywhere to put them. However, I have found an alternative to calathea that still gives me what I enjoy without some of the space taking up capability. I don't think that's English. But the things that I've found, for example, are Maranta plants. So this is actually a Tenanthe. It's a Tenanthe, is it a Burley Marxia? I can't say the name. Fishbone plant as it's known, because if you can't already tell, the leaves look like fish bones. It's actually probably my favorite Tenanthe out of all of them. I also like Stramanthe and stuff like that, which I'm debating getting another one of. But this guy is very, very dense and he's very easy. Probably one of the easiest out of all of them that I could recommend to you. So if you like calathea, but you get a little bit put off by how big they can get, because honestly they can, this might be a good one to go for. I'm not saying it doesn't grow big, I'm saying it takes longer. Here is one of my Maranta. I have several. This is Maranta Silver Band. It used to be really expensive. Now it is cheap. Now you can find it in a lot of box stores. Definitely in the UK, definitely in the EU. I can only assume it is the same in the US. If it is not, please leave a comment. I would love to know. Similar vibes to a calathea. They go up, they go down, they move, they're sensitive. I love them. Personally, I love them. It feels like a pet more than a plant. Adore them. This, along with the Tenanthe, kind of satisfy my need for calathea without going fully down the calathea route. You'll be seeing footage next to me now, of course, but I do grow them on my shelves as well. So that's what I've been getting instead. Maybe don't completely lock out the idea of calathea. Maybe get a Maranta or something like that, or a Tenanthe, just to try your luck. Just to try your luck. So I sort of hinted at this in the beginning of the video, but another thing that I've kind of stopped growing, if I'm honest, bearing some exceptions, are generally speaking climbing philodendron. I do have one or two. The couple that I have, I believe, serve really good purposes. So the first one I have, that is not in the best shape. I've actually cut the head off and I'm repropagating it. It's my Philodendron glorious, which is a hybrid of Philodendron gloriosum and Philodendron melanochrysum. They make the best hybrid. The reason I like this is because although it does take a pole, which I do not like, it sizes up very fast and it can look very good. It won't really give you any trouble in terms of that kind of thing. The second thing I really adore, and I mean I adore it, Philodendron tenue by Philodendron Jose Bono. And guys, it's great. And I hope you can see from the footage just how dense this plant actually is. I've got a bit of an issue with it at the minute. It's just flowering all the time. It's flowering all the time. I know a lot of people might think that's brilliant. For me, it's not. I just want the foliage. The space between the nodes on the plant is really tight and it looks like a bush. So when I look at it on my wall, to me, it doesn't look like a climbing plant. It just looks like a really big dense bush, and that's fine. I don't mind dealing with poles if I get that back. So my pretty heart-shaped version would be the glorious because it sizes up and I don't have to wait, 10 million years and get a degree in moss poles in order to grow it. And of course, the tenue hybrid because it's unusual, looks really jungly, and it's really dense. Personally, I don't think you can go wrong. If you've watched my channel long enough, you will know that I absolutely adore alocasia. I really do. None of my love for plants has really changed. My tastes haven't really changed. I've just had to bend around what I like a little bit. So I previously used to buy the really big alocasia. I used to love alocasia zebrina. I still think that's a gorgeous plant. Alocasia stingray, love, 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 love. Anything bigger leaves, taller, all of that kind of thing, would love it, right? Since then, honestly, I'm not really about it. I find they lean more to the light. So if you're going to grow them, you probably need to rotate them. I find they need more light. I find they are less forgiving with water and everything else. They also do get a bit big, and I would rather have more alocasia and keep them small in a little cabinet. So I have to show you some of the alocasia that I do keep. Starting with this one, I've had this a while. I've neglected it so much, hence it is a little bit bendy. This is alocasia silver dragon. It's very beautiful, very basic. Don't get me wrong, you can get these nearly anywhere. I paid literally £5 for mine. I don't know if that's like $7. It's not a lot of money. It's not a lot of money. If you like the idea of a smaller alocasia and you're sick of the big ones or you need to downsize on space, I would definitely consider it. Similarly, I've not shown this on the channel yet, but I do actually happen to have a variegated one that I'll have to lean up to the camera. Hopefully then you can see it. It's very small. It's still rehabilitating, to be honest, because I brought this from Germany a while ago. I also have the variegated alocasia dragon scale, which is basically the green version of this. And he is very cute and he's pushing out, honestly guys, he's pushing out a banger. So here's his leaves close up here. And I really would love you to be able to see how good that looks. I also have the alocasia black velvet gold variegata. It's basically a black velvet aurea, but it's gold because by the time the yellow basically hits the light through the back of these leaves where it's like a burgundy color, it turns the variegation quite gold. So if I show this to the camera, you should see how beautiful and gold it is. It's much less popular than its counterpart, but I really like it for that reason. I think it's nice to have different things. Obviously, other than that, I do have my gorgeous, much loved alocasia pink black velvet, which is just, I mean, like what? Like what is this? It's beautiful. So that's a small quick fire sample of some of the alocasia that I'm keeping rather than the big ones I used to keep. Before we move on to the next entry, I'd like to thank my sponsor for today's video, Squarespace.
Are you looking to create a brand new website, perhaps for a personal blog or to showcase and sell your own products? Get started today with Squarespace. Squarespace is a one-stop shop to create your very own sleek and professional website built from a variety of modern and fully customizable templates. No technical or programming knowledge required. I've used Squarespace for years now, guys, and I honestly won't go anywhere else. Once you've found a template that you'd like to use, you can use Squarespace's Blueprint AI to help you flesh out your website in a conversational tone of your choosing. Either to get you started on the title and section ideas, or even create full-on articles and posts. And if you're looking for a custom domain, Squarespace domains make it even easier to find the best name for your website all in one inclusive price, with absolutely no hidden fees and no add-ons required. The best part, guys, you can try Squarespace for yourself for absolutely free. Check out squarespace.com for a free trial. And when you're ready to launch, go to squarespace.com/Kaylee Ellen to save 10% off your first purchase of a website or domain. Thank you so much to Squarespace for sponsoring today's video.
Let's talk variegated monstera. I do keep 3 main types of variegated monstera, but if we're going to talk about what I used to keep versus what I keep now, it's quite ironic because a lot of the monstera I keep now are actually bigger. But in terms of the small form, in terms of the albo that I used to have all the time, I do still have some upstairs, I've decided to go with the mint instead, okay? I have the monstera jungle mint. You will see a video next to me because honestly, it's a little bit difficult to pick up. The mint variegation I find is a little bit more forgiving than the albo, and that is just because there is just a little bit extra green going on. I find it is protected a little bit from burning, stuff like that. If you care about it, it does actually have a much higher value than an albo. I guess that's good if you're wanting to buy something for an investment. I do still have, it's worth mentioning, I do still have large form monsteras. I have the Monstera Thai Constellation. Honestly, love him. He's great. He will probably replace one of my big boys eventually in this corner so I can have a big Thai instead of a big green one. I don't know, I'm going to have to do something with him. I also have the Monstera White Monster as well, which is steadily becoming more popular. So we love him. But as I say, they are large form. Still love them. But if we're talking about the albo and what I've done to replace him, I've just bought the mint. I haven't decided to actively keep both due to space reasons, to be honest. Okay, peace lilies. Yeah, I know. Specifically variegated peace lilies. Listen, I wanted one for a long time. I probably wouldn't completely say no to one today, but I'm well aware that I could literally just go and buy one off the internet quite easily. However, I've decided to do something slightly different instead. I have 2 different plants to show you. So the first thing is I've gone for a peace lily still. I've just not gone variegated. I've gone silver. This is what is known, I believe, as Spathiphyllum Ghost. I'm not really sure other than that. I have B and E in here because these just happen to be for sale, guys. So if you want to buy one off me and you are in the UK, let me know. This one here is E and this one here is C. They are both disgustingly well rooted. Hopefully you can see that. All is good. I've not brought them on to sell them. I've brought them on to show you them. I still have my mother plant upstairs. It's quite big. Didn't want to bring it down. I can hold on to these a little bit better. But I like these because it's giving me something else from a peace lily. And to be honest, the care is arguably a little bit easier. These do come back from the dead when you water them. Honestly, I've had these things just falling all over the floor. I've watered them and they've been fine. And honestly, the roots don't really even have damage on them. If you're interested, get in touch. But those are something I've decided to do differently from getting a variegated peace lily, and they pop very well and you can sell them, or you can just make a mega peace lily if you want. Since I wanted that kind of vibe, I wanted potentially a bit of height. It needs to be super tough, but I still, I might want some variegation. I really like that kind of streaked painterly kind of variegation. I went for this. Now, a lot of people are enjoying seeing this on my channel. So am I. This is a variegated cast iron plant, and I know it's small. I bought it like this. As you can probably imagine, you can't just get big, massive variegated cast iron plants very easily. Normally people are cutting them. But the genetics on this one are really quite incredible, and I can't wait for it to grow. But this is something that I've decided to do rather than get a variegated peace lily. They are slimmer. They can grow, let's be honest, way tougher conditions. They are ridiculously hardy. Got to love them. And they just grow like this. And I suppose if you wanted to again, you could snip it and make some money. I think it's a great choice. So that's another thing I do rather than the big, massive variegated peace lilies. At least this one will stay slimmer and go up instead of a peace lily that goes out. You feel me? You feel me. Let's talk ferns now. So I really enjoy ferns. I always have. I do like a lot of silver things. I like weird things, but I've sort of ventured out a little bit, guys. Whether you classify these as ferns, I don't know. One of them definitely is because it's Microsorum. You probably know what I'm going to hold up. The next ones we'll talk about. So obviously we need to talk about this guy. This is a Microsorum. It's Microsorum thailandicum. I found this randomly online about 4 or 5 years ago. I managed to find one. I might have had a bit of influence there on everybody because everyone loves them now and everyone's looking for one. Love that. And a lot of of people keep them now, and you actually see them for sale now, which is brilliant. But honestly, there is no camera trickery, by the way. It is blue. The texture of this is a little bit closer to a hoya than a fern. Like it really, you'd look at it and you would not think it was a fern. You would never think it was a fern. But generally, it's not messy, it's not fussy. Keep it under a lot of light in order to get this color. Keep it nice and warm. You don't have any problems. I love it. He's different, right? It doesn't get much bluer than this as a plant. If you know of a plant bluer than this, let me know, because I'll probably buy it. But for me personally, this is about as blue as it gets. The other type of fern I know that I've been getting into rather than just normal ferns is staghorn ferns. I love these things so much, and you have not seen this one yet on my channel. So this is a sneak peek. He will get introduced properly. I'm not going to tell you anything about him. There are so many different types out of there, guys. This one's particularly beautiful. If you're a fan of staghorn ferns, i.e. platycerium, because that's the name of these types of plants, then please let me know what you think this guy is, because there is no tag on him. I know what he is. He's very beautiful, and I'm very pleased with him. And he's grown a little bit extra on his little crown here, and we love him. I've just been finding these to be a lot more unique and fun than regular ferns, so I don't even find them more difficult. I find them easier. That's the thing. I find this easier, and I find the microsorum easier. Really weird, I know. You can mount these on the wall, by the way. I've actually got this on a block that I drench in the sink when I want to water it, and it actually sits in my cabinet, just resting against the back of the cabinet. It's not permanent. That's where he is for now. Beautiful plants. You should maybe give them a go. Very quick mention for crawling philodendron. I know we've mentioned the climbing, now we're mentioning the crawling. Essentially, philodendron have been kind of axed from my collection a little bit, I won't lie. I didn't really realize it until I made this video, and I was like, oh my god, maybe I hate philodendron now. I don't know. But I only keep like 2 crawling philodendron. One is my beautiful Variegated gloriosum, because it's Variegated gloriosum. I don't need to explain myself. I think a lot of people would keep that even if they hated crawlers, because it's beautiful. It's also a very good investment plant at the moment. You can make a lot of money from it. I also keep my wonderful philodendron ploumanii. It's a big boy. It's not as big as it was. I've neglected it quite a bit, if I'm honest. I've stopped feeding it. It's got smaller. It flowered a couple of times. It could look a lot better than what it did, really, and what it does. I don't generally grow crawlers, and if those plants weren't already huge when I brought them here, I probably wouldn't have brought them here. So yeah, never say never, but at the moment, I'm not really doing it. It's too difficult. Plus, they all grow that way to the window, and they don't even grow straight. Annoying, very annoying. This next one, I'm throwing caution to the wind here a little bit, because I've said I'm not buying these anymore, but I've just very recently started, and I have plants growing that haven't even been sent to me yet that I've paid for, so I don't know. But what I would have said to you is I've stopped keeping Hoya. Right, I know. What I have done is I've not just collected loads of Hoya, I've gone quite far into the species that I really love. Okay, the ones that I'm like, oh my god, love it, want it in every color. That is kind of where I've gone with it, rather than a million different Hoya, growing up stakes. I'm not really about that life. I want something a little bit different. For example, I love Hoya polyneura, and I want to put it out there to non-Hoya lovers, whereby if you think you want to try out a Hoya, get this one. Why? Behaves a little bit closer to an aroid. It's a little bit more water loving, and typically Hoyas are not, in my experience. They like to be a bit on the drier side. Propagating them is super easy. The reason I like polyneura specifically is because it's known as fishtail Hoya, and I really like this. And to be honest, it grows slow enough that I can keep it as a hanging plant and not really worry about it. If I want to sell bits of it, I can. This one doesn't really have any value. I mean, neither of the other two have a lot of value. I guess this has some, the inverse or inner variegated, which has lost its tag. And this other one is the Hoya polyneura full silver. So I have different ones, but I've decided to kind of go in on one specific type of Hoya. The other Hoya I've gone into, I can't say on this video because you haven't seen them yet, but I may have bought some other silvery things. I know. I think in the world of Hoya, silver is the variegation, right? It's kind of like that. Not always, but for me, I lean very silver in my Hoya. In my plants, I lean very silver as well. As you can probably tell from this video, there's loads of silver and blue stuff that I've held up. It's really a vibe for me. And in a lot of cases, you could actually say that's an overarching thing that I've done, right? Rather than variegated stuff, a lot of the time, not all the time, I've gone for blue stuff, silver stuff, right? Because I just think it's nice. And I think it's a bit more sustainable as well. It also cools down a collection. I think it looks really, really nice when you post it on Instagram. You've got some nice cooler tones in with your greens. It just looks a bit more curated to me, and I kind of like it. What have you done differently with your collection? Have you decided to not do moss pulls anymore? Because I actually think that's a big one. I think even a lot of YouTubers that I see are like, hell no, I'm sick of moss pulls. I don't want it anymore. What stuff have you changed about your plants? What has changed about your plant collection, and why? Until then, guys, if you like this video, leave a like. It lets me know that I'm making content that you actually like to watch. And I think that's it till the next video, guys. I will love you and leave you. Bye-bye.